Businesses will often tell you that they're different, and they'll say things like, we give great customer service, or we're really proactive. But these things aren't different at all. They're the same as everybody else. How many businesses have you heard talk about their great customer service, or on the other hand, they're great people? But difference doesn't always matter, and I'm going to prove it to you. We're told in marketing all the time that to be successful, you have to be different. But think about this. Two of the biggest brands in the world, Pepsi and Coke. Are they really different? Now, of course, what you'll tell me is they taste different, and that'll be true. But let me paint this scenario for you. You go into a bar and a friend says, I'll have a Coke. So you go up to the barman and you say to them, please can I have a Coca-Cola? And the barman says, I'm sorry sir, we only have Pepsi. So you shout at your friend, they've only got Pepsi. What do most people say? That's okay. Because although we know they taste different, for most people they're interchangeable. If they don't have Coke, they'll have Pepsi. They may have a preference, but when one isn't available, the other will do. So these companies aren't really different at all. And yet we're talking about two of the biggest brands in the world. Let me give you another example. Think about McDonald's and Burger King. How many of you would really say you've got a preference for Burger King, but you'd never go anywhere near a McDonald's ever? For most people, again, they're interchangeable. They may have a preference, and they're not exactly the same. But for most people, if Burger King's not available, they're quite happy to have McDonald's or vice versa. Let me give you one other example. Nike and Adidas. For how many of you would say Nike trainers are superior to Adidas in every single way? For most people, they're just two very well-known, successful, good brands. All of these brands are some of the most successful in the world, and yet they're not really different. But what they are is distinctive. In other words, differentiation doesn't always matter, but distinctiveness does. You have to stand out in your market, and you have to stand for something that people understand what that is. And if you're distinctive, you can be successful without necessarily being different. Differentiation is overrated, and distinctiveness is underused. Often people will say, well, we give great customer service, which isn't really different at all, but no one's ever actually heard of them. Concentrate on being distinctive. If you can be different as well, great. But that actually doesn't always matter in order to be successful. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment box. And to receive regular marketing updates, hit subscribe.